Hi guys, I'm glad to welcome you to the new TechSnack, and I'm sorry for delay for a small delay due to small technical issue. And today we will consider branching strategy again because it turned out to be a very relevant and interesting topic. And another look at this topic will be presented by our great speaker Ilia. And hi Ilia, I will pass word to you.
Hello, hello guys. So glad to see you here and not somewhere else. So my name is Lini or Ilia, and today we are gonna explore the branching life of one project, one theoretical and quite successful project. Um, it's the very first time for me here speaking and actually giving the public speaking in general, so I will be very pleasant if you will give me some thumbs up. So let's go further. So our question today for covering, how do you choose the appropriate branching strategy in your case? So you have some certain circumstances, you have some inputs, and you need to turn these inputs inside to build this branching strategy for your Git, for your CI/CD, for your pipelines and delivery strategy. And this is what we are going to explore today. When is it time to reconsider your current strategy? So you will feel better and understand better in seeing what inputs could be those specific inputs or those specific triggers for you to start reconsidering your current approach. How to validate your approach. So where are you right now and what is your build right now? How is it working? How good is it working for you? This is what we are going to explore today. We are not gonna dive into the theoretical part too deep, and I will invite you into our another call to my colleague Evgeny, who explored that topic pretty much the perfect way. So yeah, join it, and you will find it in our Where community platform. Who am I? So as I mentioned, my name is Lini, or Ilia Naryshkin. 7 years in IT, 8 years, 4 years in EPAM, 8 years, yeah. That's how first time public speaking working. Full stack expert. So currently I'm working in the project as a lead engineer. I'm doing some Scrum mastering, solution architecture. So I'm pretty much, it's kind of daily thing that I'm facing. I mean the branching strategy itself. And without further ado, let's get started. So here's our repository. And here is our project. We started from scratch. We don't have anything right now. And well, let's assume that some solution architecture work is already done. And yeah, it's time to have a hands-on experience and put this experience inside your project. And usually our first task is just to deploy staging. So we need to have this environment. And yeah, that's going to be our first thing to do. Let's go to this today in progress. We could have very different teams, but let's assume that we have like typical backend, frontend, and DevOps engineer inside here. So our task, again, to commit and build our ecosystem that way that it's possible to go to some environment and check what is built. So we could think of this as web application and yeah, front end, back end, SPA. So nothing fancy. And how our branching strategy should or could work here. And usually we could simplify it in the point that we just do commitment inside the master branch. Nothing additional is required here. So we have this one repository, and this one repository, we just do direct commits inside this repository, but by our teammates. And yeah, by that we receive feedback as soon as possible. We could have this interaction with each other, and yeah, when we have like 3 developers, 3 engineers who is working on some projects, you don't need anything else. You don't need anything fancy here. And in some point, yeah, we build our CI/CD solution here, and yeah, we are do this deployment. I will show it in AWS format, but yeah, we will get the idea that it's just some kind of development turns to be out in our staging environment. I will give you here some links. So by the way, guys, everything that I'm working on right now, everything that I'm building and drawing with you here will be shared after the presentation with the OneDrive link inside the comment on the YouTube. You will find it there, so no worries. So it's so-called the track-based development. Track it's it's a main part of the 3. Yeah, so we just have this track and we commit inside commit. Let's assume that this task is done. Let's move forward. Staging done. Increase the team delivery, first version of the production environment. So right now we have our staging environment, we have settled everything down, we have our framework, CI/CD, we have our Git, we have our framework, not frameworks or application for Git, I don't know, maybe GitHub, GitLab, everything, Bitbucket. And now our project is ready to consume more developers inside and include more developers inside. And right now we have our investment. So we need to prepare our production and share this production with our end clients, with our user stakeholders. When we have more people inside, this schema could be quite challenging because, well, for instance, we have like 3-4 developers for the front end, and the front end application is still not so huge in this point, and we will override each other, and it could be such a mess, and well, conflict management could be quite complicated here. So usually what we do here, we introduce a new branching strategy or new branching element called feature environment, or sorry, not feature environment, feature branches. The idea is very simple. So when we create a new feature, when we want to deliver a new feature could be, I don't know, user story and so on, or some new button, we create for that a specific branch, and then we are doing our work inside this branch. So it is isolated. We are able to work inside this branch. Sorry, I just read a comment from my team who is supporting me here that everything is okay, but I'm still worrying, of course. So yeah, our feature branch here, and we are creating this isolated environment, isolated scope where we could work together, we could interact with each other, and yeah, of course, in some point we will merge this feature branch inside our master branch, and our developers could interact in this process itself. So doing some reviews, making some threads, and so on and so on. Nothing special, I will say, but yeah, this is a way how we could interact with each other and how we could organize a work of a bigger team. And yeah, in some point, we will just have our new fancy production environment. Let me do it like that. Production environment. Just a matter of time now. Okay, cool. let's move forward. Or no? Yeah, no. Another link. So this strategy is nothing new. It was introduced with the GitHub flow. Of course, specification itself cover much more cases, but you get the idea how it came up to be true. Yeah, let's move forward. So we have our new users. So our production is working, we're receiving new users, and now we have much more responsibility for what we are delivering to the end users. So we don't have so much space to, well, make mistakes now. And yeah, let's assume that only now we decided we need a QA engineer. So QA quality engineer checking and verifying the features that they are done correctly. And yeah, let's return here. So we have these feature branches. How to make this work for the QA engineer? It will be super simple. Usually it's done by the next way. On the creating feature branch, we could settle our CI/CD pipeline that way that we will create a feature environment for these feature branches. Super simple. Then our developers started working here, and yeah, working here. Sorry, I want to make it fancy. And before it goes to production, we're saying, okay, engineer, you have this feature environment. You could play with that. You could, well, test things out. Of course, it should be as close as possible to the staging and production environment, but the idea is that. And yeah, at some point, well, QA engineer could give you some fixes to fix, some bugs to fix. And yeah, you will give these fixes and you go to the production. Cool. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's move forward. What got our first critical bug? Okay, deploy hotfix or hotfix, depending on where you are, where you're living. Okay, so we have our feature branches. We have our master branches. On creating feature branch, we are creating a feature environment. Yeah. Sorry. So before merging, we need to destroy this environment. And of course, we need to wait before this environment creates before we could, well, solve CI/CD pipeline. So this is how it works. To face such situation when we need to deliver back as soon as possible, usually people create another way, another branching element called hotfix. So hotfix branch, the difference between typical feature branch is that it doesn't create any additional environment. So they are good to, well, the same way in installation, see our bug, maybe unit test it, maybe understand it, review it, and then merge it separately. That's it. Simple. Super easy. Super easy when we have everything else. Okay. We become a huge application. Oh, sorry. No, nothing here. Okay, we become a huge application. Our top management right now want to verify each our deployment. And they wanna us deploy not so often, but let's say once a month. It's so-called a scheduled delivery. You could met it in some, well, enterprises. What does it mean, scheduled delivery? It means that, well, we can't anymore just commit into the master branch. We need to wait some time. We need to verify our features much better. We need to verify our feature, how they work together. And usually we introduce a so-called release branches. Very simple thing. So in some point of application, we said, okay, our next branch, our next release, it's version 10. We want to do it in some point in future. So once a month, we are doing this merge. After that, we create another feature release branch. This time, release 11. And the same stuff goes with that. Now, when we are doing our feature branches and when we are doing our features, we merge them after they complete and verified by the QA and maybe other stuff. You could have different steps. We merge it inside our release branch. And yeah, of course, we have our hotfixes that is still possible to do. And usually, yeah, we could go here very, very differently. For instance, when we merge our hotfix to the master branch, after that, we could do this rebasing stuff. And yeah, most probably you recognize that. It's so-called Git flow, workflow. Of course, it's much more complicated in the spec, and you could read it and analyze it and yeah, try to understand it. But the idea is quite the same. So we have this challenge of deliver our application only once a month. We need this ability to test a couple of features together. And yeah, so one additional link I will left here is a GitLab flow. They are doing quite the similar stuff, but maybe just a little differently. And that's going to be done. And that's going to be our last task for today. What we learned. So first of all, you saw how different strategies could be applied. Applied in very specific case. So what we showed here is just one example of how things could work. And it's mainly to show you the logic. So you have this task, you have these challenges, and then you address those challenges with some actions. So yeah, of course, your example could be very different, and you could face different, well, circumstances. You could have a principal engineer who will settle you okay and say that we are going Git flow and that's it. No discussion here. So your case will be unique, and each project have this unique case inside them. And well, that kind of what makes our work interesting and beautiful. So as I said, yeah, all the materials will be shared with the OneDrive link, and I'm gonna swap to the questions if you have some. Okay, guys. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here, and have a great day. Bye-bye.